Did you know that millions of Social Security recipients nearly missed their September payments this year because of a holiday schedule mix-up? If you're among the 72.5 million Americans depending on these crucial benefits, you absolutely need to know what's happening with your money right now. The payment system has undergone some significant changes this month, and there are updates about benefit increases that could affect your financial planning for the rest of the year. But before we dive deep into these critical updates, make sure you hit that subscribe button and ring the notification bell. Let's start with what happened in September 2025 and why your payment schedule might have looked different than usual. The big story here revolves around Labor Day falling on September 1st this year, which threw the entire payment system into a different rhythm. If you receive supplemental security income, you probably noticed something unusual about your payment timing this month. SSI recipients typically receive their payments on the 1st of each month, but because September 1st was Labor Day, a federal holiday, these payments were actually distributed on Friday, August 29th instead. This might seem like a small detail, but for people living on fixed incomes, even a day's difference in payment timing can create significant stress and confusion. Did you receive your payment early and wonder if there was an error? Were you prepared for this change? Or did it catch you off guard like so many others? The regular Social Security payments followed their standard schedule based on birth dates, but even these had some people confused about timing. If your birthday falls between the 1st and 10th of any month, your September payment arrived on Wednesday, September 10th. Those with birthdays between the 11th and 20th received their payments on Wednesday, September 18th. And if your birthday is between the 21st and 31st, your payment came on Wednesday, September 24th. But here's where things get really interesting, and this is information that could directly impact your financial situation moving forward. The Social Security Administration has been implementing some major changes throughout 2025 that go far beyond simple payment scheduling. These changes stem from the Social Security Fairness Act, which has been creating ripple effects across the entire system. What exactly does this mean for your monthly benefits? The Social Security Administration announced earlier this year that they're processing expedited retroactive payments and increasing monthly benefit payments for millions of people whose benefits have been affected by previous limitations. This is particularly significant for people who were impacted by the windfall elimination provision and government pension offset rules. Are you someone who worked in both private sector jobs and government positions during your career? Have you noticed that your Social Security benefits seemed lower than they should be based on your work history? This could be exactly why these changes matter so much to your financial future. The adjustments being made could result in substantial increases to your monthly payments, and in some cases, people are receiving significant retroactive payments, covering months or even years of underpayments. The processing of these adjustments has been ongoing since February 2025, and the Social Security Administration has been working systematically through different regions and zip codes. The amount of monthly benefit increases varies significantly from person to person, depending on individual work history and the specific provisions that affected their original calculations. Some recipients are seeing increases of hundreds of dollars per month, while others might see more modest adjustments. Now let's talk about the broader benefit landscape for 2025, because understanding these changes is crucial for your financial planning. The cost of living adjustment for 2025 was set at 2.5%, which means that benefits and SSI payments for more than 72.5 million Americans increased by this percentage, starting with payments received in early 2025. This might not sound like a huge increase, but for someone receiving the average Social Security payment, this translates to real money that can help offset rising costs. But what about this mention of tariff rebates? This is where things get particularly interesting from a policy perspective, and it's something that could affect your benefits in ways you might not expect. While traditional Social Security doesn't typically involve direct tariff rebates, there have been discussions in policy circles about how trade policy and tariff revenues could potentially impact Social Security funding and benefit calculations. The connection might seem indirect, but here's why it matters to you. When tariff policies change, they can affect the overall economy, inflation rates, and cost of living calculations that directly influence your Social Security cost of living adjustments. Additionally, any changes in government revenue from tariffs could potentially impact the long-term funding discussions surrounding Social Security. Have you been following the debates about Social Security's long-term funding? Are you worried about whether your benefits will be secure as you age, or if you're already receiving them? These broader economic policy discussions, including tariff policies, play into the overall financial health of the Social Security system. The reality is that your Social Security benefits exist within a complex economic ecosystem. Changes in trade policy, inflation rates, employment levels, and government revenues all interconnect to influence both your current benefit amounts and the program's long-term sustainability. This is why staying informed about these broader economic discussions is just as important as knowing your specific payment dates. Looking ahead to the rest of 2025 and beyond, there are several key things you should be monitoring closely. First, keep track of any additional notifications from the Social Security Administration about benefit adjustments related to the Fairness Act. These adjustments are still being processed, and you could potentially receive additional retroactive payments or monthly increases if your benefits were affected by the previous limitations. Second, pay attention to how economic policies, including trade and tariff decisions, might influence next year's cost of living adjustment calculations. These adjustments are based on inflation measurements, and significant policy changes can create ripple effects that ultimately show up in your monthly benefit amounts. Are you keeping detailed records of your Social Security payments and any changes you've noticed? This documentation could be valuable if you need to contact the Social Security Administration about discrepancies, or if you're trying to understand how various policy changes are affecting your specific situation. For October and the remaining months of 2025, the payment schedule returns to its normal rhythm. SSI payments will be distributed on the 1st of each month, unless that date falls on a weekend or holiday. Regular Social Security payments will continue following the birthday-based schedule on the 2nd, 3rd, and 4th Wednesdays of each month. But there's one more important consideration that many people overlook. If you're receiving both Social Security and SSI, your payment schedule might be different than what we've discussed. People who began receiving Social Security before May 1997, or those receiving both Social Security and SSI, typically receive their Social Security payments on the 3rd of each month, while SSI continues on the 1st. The key takeaway from all of these updates is that the Social Security system is actively evolving. Between the implementation of the Social Security Fairness Act, ongoing cost of living adjustments, and the broader economic policy discussions that could influence future benefits, staying informed isn't just helpful, it's essential for your financial security. What questions do you have about your Social Security payments? Have you noticed any changes in your benefit amounts that you can't explain? Are you concerned about how current economic policies might affect your future benefits? The Social Security system can seem overwhelmingly complex, but understanding these key changes and staying informed about ongoing developments is one of the most important things you can do to protect your financial future. Remember, if you haven't received a payment that you were expecting, or if you notice any discrepancies in your benefit amounts, don't wait to contact the Social Security Administration. With all the changes happening in the system, occasional processing delays or errors can occur, and the sooner you address them, the quicker they can be resolved. Stay tuned for more updates as we continue monitoring Social Security changes throughout 2025. These benefit programs are lifelines for millions of Americans, and every change, no matter how small it might seem, can have real impacts on your daily life and long-term financial security. Make sure you're subscribed and have notifications turned on so you never miss critical updates about your benefits. Have you found this information helpful in understanding your Social Security situation? What other aspects of Social Security benefits would you like us to cover in future videos? Your financial security matters, and staying informed is the first step in protecting it.